Hi, this is Christopher Perrin. I'm really excited to be speaking at the Gloria Deo Academy Classical Conference on August 3rd and 4th. That's a Thursday and a Friday. Coming up soon, I'm going to be speaking on a couple of interesting topics, 3 or 4 actually. I thought I should just tell you what they are. I'm going to be starting on Thursday morning with a talk that's called Retroactive Education, how we actually go forward by going backward to recover the classical tradition. C.S. Lewis says that if we're lost in the woods, one of the best ways to go forward is to make our way, trace our steps back home. And that's kind of what we're doing by recovering and renewing the classical tradition of education. We'll actually make a great deal of forward progress by returning to the roots of that form of education that has done so well at educating our sons and daughters in the past centuries. And then I'm going to give a second talk called Putting the Puzzle Pieces Together of Classical Education. Because classical education is kind of like a beautiful ship that around 1890 hit some rocks and came apart on the water, and since then we've been floating on fragments. So you've all received a bit of a classical education, but we haven't seen it together with integrity and wholeness. So we're trying to pull the pieces back together. It might be like the pieces of a puzzle, or reassembling that great ship and putting the sails up again and catching the wind as we renew the tradition. So I'm going to talk about 12 different components of classical education and what it looks like when they all come together. That'll be in the morning. In the afternoon on Thursday, I'll be giving a talk on Scholae. Scholae means undistracted time to study the things that are most worthwhile. It's a Greek word, and ironically, it's the root word for our word school. It means restful learning, learning without anxiety and stress. There's not a lot of Scholae in our schools anymore. But there is there is Scholae in the classical tradition, and we need to recover that. So I'll be talking about Scholae, and then I'll conclude on Thursday with a talk on the lighter side of education, how to relax, delight, and enjoy, and still be a classical educator. We do need to learn how to find levity and lightness in education today. That'll be that fourth talk. And then on Friday morning, I'm going to give a talk on play. Play is a part of the classical tradition of education. It's a kind of pedagogy, especially for our elementary-aged children. One of the ways that children learn in those younger years is through play and reenactment and imagination and creativity. And we'll explore how the ways in which we can employ play in the classical curriculum and our teaching methods. And then at the end of Friday, we're going to, going up towards noon, so not the entire day, but in that morning, I'm going to give a talk on Socratic teaching or learning. What is it? How has it been employed over the centuries? What does it look like in our modern classical schools? What are the various ways we might be able to employ Socratic inquiry, teaching, and discussion? And then I'm very excited about the session that will follow, because we're actually going to engage in some Socratic discussion. We'll break up into groups. We're going to read some poems together. We're going to read the one very well-known poem called Psalm 1, and then we're also going to look at 1 or 2 poems by Walt Whitman, and we're going to together engage in Socratic discussion while I circulate, and then we'll talk about it. It's going to be a great day. So once again, that's August 3rd and 4th at the Gloria Deo Academy Classical Conference. I hope to see you there.